What is happening, trophy family? How's everyone doing today? Today, coming at you again with a trophy roadmap video, this time for Star Wars Battlefront 2. I don't think there's a semicolon or anything after that, right? It's just Battlefront 2. It's coming out on PlayStation Plus in about 3 or 4 days' time, so I thought it was a good time to make a trophy roadmap video for it. This one is it's not a hard platinum, but it's a very, very long platinum. Let's take a look at the roadmap together. So, as I said at the top, we're taking a look at Star Wars Battlefront 2, the trophy roadmap and guide for that game. And this game has just come out for PlayStation Plus. If you're watching this at least in the month of May or June 2020, then the game has been just made available for free. So you should go ahead and download it via PlayStation Plus. If you're watching this literally any other month of any other year, then it's no longer free, but this roadmap is still completely valid and you'll still be able to get the Platinum Trophy by following the steps that I outline in this guide. So let's start off as always with the roadmap portion of these guides. The first thing to look at is the difficulty of the trophies. It's a 5 out of 10 difficulty, which is kind of middle of the row in terms of a AAA software title. It's about normal for a big AAA title like this. The challenge in the game is, I think more of it is around the multiplayer and the variability of the multiplayer and relying a lot on getting kills and things in that mode, which can be a bit iffy depending on how good you are in terms of skill level with a third-person / first-person game like this. The thing that stands out the most though in this game is the length of time it's going to take you to get the platinum, and that's around 100 hours to get the platinum in it. That's at a minimum, I would say, as well, because that amount of time can vary enormously depending on what you do and how you spend your time in the multiplayer. For example, if you're just grinding XP, then you can obviously speed that time up dramatically, but there's a single trophy in the game for getting to rank 50 in multiplayer, and that's going to be where you spend the majority of your time. There's a bunch of other miscellaneous multiplayer trophies, and I call some of them out at the end of this video as well, but the majority of them will come naturally by just doing everything. The multiplayer trophies are essentially for completing every aspect of the multiplayer. All game modes, all weapon kills, different class kills, so you're going to have to be playing a ton of it. And I know the 100 hours is probably going to put a lot of people off. With that, obviously there are online trophies. Fortunately though, there are no missable trophies or difficulty trophies associated with the game. So the game does have a campaign to it as well, a single player component. And there are collectibles in that campaign, but you can use chapter select to go back to specific chapters to unlock those collectibles as you need to. So you don't need to do it all in a single playthrough. You can chop and change whenever you need to. And the campaign's really, really short in this one, so it's not going to take you a huge amount of time, not like the multiplayer. There is chapter select and there is no stacking trophy list, unfortunately, for this one. So what are the steps to platinum? I've outlined it in 3 steps. Reality is there's really only 2 steps that are important to note though. The first is playing the single player campaign. The reason that this is the first step, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, you can jump straight into the multiplayer, but the single player teaches you how to play the multiplayer essentially. It teaches you how to fly ships, teaches you how to battle, it teaches you how to use the turrets, and it's a really cool single player story. I actually didn't mind it. I think it's pretty neat. So I think it's worthwhile doing that first, getting a feel for the game and then jumping into online. Otherwise, people who are just way better at the game are going to be jumping into the online. However, I will say, because it's free on PlayStation Plus for the month of June, if you're planning on playing it, it will be like it's started again. It'll be like it's just re-released, because there'll be so many new people jumping onto the game that it'll be more of an even playing field in terms of new players jumping in and learning how to play the game. If you jump in at any other time, obviously it's going to be difficult, because you're going to have people jumping in, people who are hardcore players of the game, who are going to be very good at the game, who'll just toast anyone new who comes on board. The first component is the single player campaign, collecting all of the collectible trophies and the miscellaneous single player trophies. There are a couple of missed single player trophies. I wouldn't worry too much about it though. Just play the campaign with a guide, or play through the campaign and then use a guide on chapter select to go and clean it up afterwards. This step isn't going to take you much time at all though. Step 2 is where the majority of your time is going to be spent. This is through the multiplayer component. This is going to take a long time. So I think this is like 90 hours or so, if not more, of your time with the game is going to be spent here in this area. The reaching rank 50 trophy is just going to take you an enormous amount of time. Now, the game has perks and things to help you boost your XP and get XP faster. but you're probably going to have to earn them or pay for them to get those kind of boosts. Otherwise, you're going to be spending a lot of time just leveling up and ranking up. The good thing about it, though, is that there are a lot of other trophies you can earn along the way. So there's specific trophies for winning every single type of game mode, for example, for getting a certain number of kills with a particular class in the game, getting kills with different types of weapons and vehicles in the game. So once you've gone and done all of those things, you're going to be on your way to level 50 anyway. So my suggestion is just start playing the multiplayer and stuff will start sort of popping. Start leveling up, start understanding the game better, use a variety of weapons, use a variety of classes so you can kind of tick all those boxes, and those trophies should start coming up automatically. There's nothing specific there to call out, except for a couple of trophies which I'll mention at the very end. But otherwise, it's just play those things. The final step is just clean up. So if for whatever reason on your journey to level 50 you haven't earned everything, you can go back through on this one and you can clean up anything you need to clean up. There are also a couple of trophies associated with the arcade mode in the game, so you can jump into the arcade mode and you can earn those trophies as well, but that's not going to take you much time. If there's any other miscellaneous multiplayer trophies, then you can jump in there and do that too. So that's kind of your final step, and at that point you should have the platinum, but you won't have your 100 hours. Alright, so there's 4 trophies that I think are kind of notable that are worth calling out. Now, these are the 4 rarest trophies in the game, which is why I want to call them out. The 3 of them I'm a little bit confused about. They're class-based trophies for getting particular kills, and then the other one is for reaching rank 50. So the rank 50 one makes perfect sense to me why that's the rarest trophy in the game, because it's going to just take an enormous time sink to earn that trophy. And anyone who's not prepared to put in sort of 90 hours to play the game and earn that trophy, you're just not going to have it. The other 3 trophies, the Bomber, Multitasking, and Sentry Mode Engaged, are all for using a specific class in multiplayer. So the reason I think these ones are skewed on PSN profiles is because people are leaning towards particular classes when they're playing the game. So the Bomber and Fighter class, for example, are obviously not being played as much as the heavy class. That's just purely speculation, but the trophies would indicate that that's the case. These 3 trophies here are for using a specific class in multiplayer and getting a particular number of kills with that class. So multitasking, for example, is defeating 25 hero ships with fighter ships, so you need the fighter class to be able to do that one. The Bomber is for defeating 50 enemies using dual proton torpedoes with the Bomber ship class. Obviously you need the Bomber class to do that one. And the final one is for using the Heavy class to defeat 150 enemies with the Sentry gun. I think the hardest thing with these is obviously you have to be a specific class and the circumstances have to be right. I think all of them are pretty reasonable except for multitasking, and that's probably more because it's kind of hard to identify what a hero ship actually is when you're playing the game. So you're probably missing a lot of potential kills that you could be getting. The other thing as well is, depending on what mode you're playing as, for example, you're not necessarily going to be paired up in a game with ships or where ships are going to be utilized. However, given the game is free on PlayStation Plus at the moment, my assumption would be that with all the new players coming on board, you might have a better chance of earning these trophies a little bit more quickly because people are using ships when ordinarily pro players aren't using ships, for example. Look, I'm no Battlefront 2 pro player or anything like that. I'm familiar with the game. I'm not an expert though, but that's just my assumption based on the research I've done online. So that's essentially all there is to it. It's a grindy one. That's all there really is in a nutshell. The rest of the stuff is stuff that will happen naturally through playing through the game. I mean, you've got to spend 90 hours with the game. The rest of the stuff's going to eventually unlock. So that's all there is to it. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Let me know if you're planning on playing this one down in the comment section below. Maybe there's a group of you guys who are keen to try and boost some of these trophies and you're going to go and do that. Let me know as well. I might join you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and you've just discovered this video and it's your first Platinum Trophy video you've watched, then don't forget to subscribe down below. I do videos like this all the time, teaching you about the easiest trophies you can earn and teaching you exactly on how to earn Platinum Trophies in games that might be a little bit more complicated like this one. So hopefully it helps, and if you're new, hopefully you stick around. Alright guys, I'm going to head off, and I'm actually playing Call of Duty World War II at the moment, so I'm going to continue doing that, and we'll see how I go with that Platinum Trophy. But Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.